How our Indian culture affects consumption patterns of life insurance. The wheel of life in the Eastern and Western philosophy. Eastern philosophy of life insurance. Lacking self-awareness versus having self-awareness. Culture is defined as the collective mental programming of the human mind, which distinguishes one group of people from another. If we are not very self-aware, or if we don't have a self-identity, then we get directed by culture, something that we are not conscious of and what drives our decision making. How our Indian culture or philosophy affects consumption of life insurance. Life insurance is a service that is abstract, complex, and focused on future benefits. Because of the nature of life insurance products, consumers are more likely to respond as directed by the national or regional culture. There are studies which explain psychological, physiological, geographical, geopolitical, anthropological, and sociological effects of our purchasing behavior towards life insurance products. One of these studies, which is widely used for understanding of cross-cultural behavior, is the Hofstede's cultural dimensions theory. As quoted by Gerard Hendrik Hofstede, culture is the collective programming of the mind, which distinguishes the members of one group from another. He was a Dutch social psychologist, IBM employee, and professor emeritus of organizational anthropology and international management at Maastricht University in the Netherlands, renowned for his pioneering research on cross-cultural groups and organizations. The Hofstede model of cultural dimensions. Hofstede developed a cross-cultural communication framework that examines the influence of a society's culture on its members, values, and behavior. It utilizes factor analysis to create a structure that illustrates this relationship. Factor analysis is a technique that is used to reduce a large number of variables into fewer number of factors. Hofstede's cultural dimensions can be used to gain insights into life insurance demand. It describes 6 dimensions that are power distance, uncertainty avoidance, masculinity, individualism, long-term orientation, and indulgence. I'll explain each of these 6 dimensions. Power distance. India has a high power distance score of 77, surpassing the global average of 59. Power distance refers to the extent to which people in a society accept that power is distributed unequally. This dimension acknowledges that not all individuals in society are considered equal. This cultural trait endorses societal inequality, fosters bureaucracy, and emphasizes respect for rank and authority. In high power distance societies, people are more likely to allow someone to make decisions for them or to tell them what to do because of their respect for them or because of their higher rank, authority, or knowledge, and less likely to take responsibility for their own lives. People may feel that they can rely on their families or employers to provide for their family in the event of their death. This can lead to a lower demand for life insurance. Individualism. Individualism refers to the extent to which people in a society value independence and self-reliance. In individualistic societies, people are more likely to take responsibility for their own lives and to plan for the future, hence have a high demand for life insurance. India has an intermediate score of 48 on this dimension. India is a society that leans more towards being collectivist than being individualist. In India, strong cohesive in-groups such as family, community, caste and religion play a significant role throughout individuals' lives, shaping their actions and expectations. People strongly rely on family support. Relationships hold immense importance in collectivist societies, even if individuals live separately in urban areas for education or employment. Rejection by family or friends can leave a person rudderless or feel lost and empty. Compared to more individualistic nations, collectivist societies like India tend to have a lower demand or a negative impact on the demand for life insurance products. Masculinity. India scores 56 on the masculinity dimension, indicating it is a masculine society. Feminine cultures are very careful to the needs of their family members and stand for a preference for cooperation, caring for the weak, and for quality of life. People are more likely to purchase insurance to protect their families and communities against financial hardships and less likely to take risks. In contrast, a masculine society focuses on controlling the future. It is driven by success, achievements, and material gains and values assertiveness, competitiveness, and ambition, emphasizing individual accomplishments. India's high masculinity score positively impacts on the demand for life insurance. Uncertainty avoidance. It refers to the extent to which people in a society feel threatened by uncertainty. In high uncertainty avoidance societies, people are more likely to seek out certainty and predictability. This can lead to higher demand for life insurance, as people want to protect themselves from the financial risks. In contrast, India has a lower score of 40 on the uncertainty avoidance dimension. India has a higher tolerance for uncertainty, ambiguity, and risk taking. The acceptance of the unknown is more prevalent, resulting in fewer strict rules and regulations. A low uncertainty avoidance index suggests that the majority in India are less inclined to pay higher insurance premiums to reduce risk. Consequently, this cultural characteristic has a negative impact on insurance consumption. Long term orientation. India has a score of 51 on this dimension. It indicates that it can be classified as either a flexi-humble or a monumentalist society. Flexi-humble societies emphasize the need to be prepared for a constantly changing future. Monumentalist societies, on the other hand, rely on the past to solve present problems and make future decisions. In Indian culture, there is an intermediate preference for balancing links with the past while addressing present and future challenges. Unlike Western societies that place high importance on linear time, which means time is a ticking clock, forever uniformly marching forward, it is not as significant in Indian culture. Religion in India is viewed more as a philosophy that encompasses diverse perspectives, practices, and ideas. Religious individuals may be less inclined to purchase life insurance as they trust in God's protection. The belief is that God sees everything and will take care of those who trust in Him. As quoted by Carl Jung, until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life and you will call it fate. And as quoted by Edmund Burke, you can never plan the future by the past. Cultures that score high on the long-term orientation dimension adopt a pragmatic approach, emphasizing careful money management, avoiding waste, saving for the future, and investing in education. This mindset is positively associated with the consumption of life insurance. However, as India has an intermediate score on this dimension, a clear determination cannot be made regarding its impact on life insurance consumption. Indulgence. India has a score of 26 on this dimension, indicating it is a culture characterized by restraint. Restraint refers to the extent to which people control their desires and impulses based on upbringing. In restrained societies, there is a stigma associated with indulgence, and individuals perceive their actions to be controlled by social norms. There may be a limited appreciation for leisure time, and societies with low scores on this dimension tend to exhibit doubt, mistrust, suspicion, and a negative outlook. Indulgence in India is notably low, which negatively impacts on the development of the insurance sector. What do we infer from the six dimensions with respect to India? India has a rather intermediate score of 48. With regards to India, the dimensions of power distance, individualism, uncertainty avoidance, and indulgence have shown that India overall culturally has a negative impact on consumption of life insurance, while only masculinity has a positive impact on consumption of life insurance. Countries such as Taiwan with 14%, South Africa with 11.2%, United Kingdom with 8.8%, and South Korea with 6.4% have the largest penetration of life insurance in the world. The findings show that high individualism, as seen with South Africa and United Kingdom, or high uncertainty avoidance, as seen with South Korea and Taiwan, and high long-term orientation, as seen with South Korea and Taiwan, has a significant positive effect on the life insurance consumption. As quoted by Edgar Sheen, the only thing of real importance that leaders do is to create and manage culture. If you do not manage culture, it manages you, and you may not even be aware of the extent to which this is happening. And as quoted by Gerard Henrik Hofstede, every person's mental programming is partly unique, partly shared with others. Before I conclude, according to the latest economic survey by the Ministry of Finance 2022-23, only 3 out of 100 people in India have a life insurance policy. Out of a population of 1.4 billion, only 42.1 million individuals have life insurance, leaving 1.362 billion without coverage. Unfortunately, life insurance is perceived as a negative financial instrument by the majority of the population in India. The country's financial literacy rate is low, ranking 121st out of 144 countries, which hinders insurance sector development. Cultural dimensions play a role in shaping a nation's beliefs, norms, and practices, including those related to growth and the development of the insurance sector. What stops us from buying life insurance is our traditional values and deprives people from accessing the miracle of life insurance. May the force of not letting culture influence our financial planning and financial literacy be with you. Please go through the description for the sources for this presentation. I've shared the link to my next presentation, Life Insurance, the Greatest Financial Miracle, at the end of this presentation. And do not forget to check out the playlist for more presentations. If there is something to gain and nothing to lose by asking, by all means ask. Thank you for taking the time to watch this presentation. I sincerely appreciate it. Namaste.